And there we are. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How is everybody doing? I hope everybody is having a good week so far. It's man, it's the time is like I sit here like I swear to you, each week I go, where does the time go? I mean, it's Wednesday already. Doesn't seem possible. So for all of you out there in love, happy Valentine's Day. For those of you who are not, that's okay too. uh, I hope, like I said, it's been a minute for me. It's been a minute for me, but that's okay. Oh my goodness gracious. So anyhow, before we jump into anything, I do want to remind everybody that this is a very family-friendly oriented channel. I would ask you all to please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness, and let's have a good stream. If you cannot abide by those very simple, easy rules, those awesome people lit up in blue with the blue wrenches, they're going to boot you out of here because we're not going to have it. We're not going to tolerate it. So there we go with that. So, but anyhow, so that's what we got there. Fun days, fun days. Literally just before the live stream, I got to tell you, the heat kicked off, and I'm like, what? Wait a minute! I had to go out. I had to change my propane tank. It's not bad out right now. I mean, it's 40 degrees right now, so not bad at all. Not bad at all. Kansas City shooting at the Super Bowl parade: 20 injured, one dead, 9 kids shot. That's craziness. People are just and I love it because when something like this happens, I will tell you, like with that in Kansas City, boy, the liberals will jump all over that and be like, "Oh, see, this is what we need to do. We need to take away the guns. We need to, and it just that's not what the answer is. That's their answer. That doesn't stop anything." Larry's asking, "Did you hear about werewolf preppers?" I heard that, uh, you know, and I will tell you, in all honesty, if you had Jason Angry Pepper did the video on that, and we'll address that first. I think that's probably a good thing, that way to start off here with the stream tonight. And you could have somebody come into your group under false pretenses. I mean, you look at the situation. If you remember that group that was a militia group up in uh, Michigan, I think it was, and the guy was like he joined that militia group, and he kept going, "Hey, let's make our guns full auto. Let's make our guns full auto." And at first they were like, "No, no, 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 we don't want to do that," and all that type of stuff. And but this guy kept pressing. He kept pressing, and so eventually they relented and went, "Yeah, okay, let's go ahead and do that." They did that. He was a FBI plant or CIA plant or whatever he was. He was a plant, and they ended up arresting all those people, and they're all sitting in prison right now. Um, you know, to me, I don't worry about that type of stuff because, like, I'll tell you what, with our group down here, we're not doing anything illegal. So that we do have full automatic weapons, won't have full automatic weapons. I don't want. If anybody out there has shot a full automatic weapon, which I have shot full automatic weapons, folks, okay, you're not accurate with a full automatic weapon. Yeah, you can put a lot of rounds downrange in a hurry, and that's a fact. But one well placed round by somebody that knows what they're doing, it don't matter. Because what happens when you shoot a full auto, so like say you're shooting here, your gun automatically it rides up. Okay, so you start shooting, and if you're going full auto, it rides up on you, and you can't help it. It's what it does. And to me, it's a waste of ammo, and ammo is going to be very very precious when that time comes. And you're going to go ahead, you go ahead and have your full auto, and you're doing this, and I'm going to be locked in, and I'm going to be here. So, uh, no thanks. But anyway, again, if you, I have a pretty good feel for people. All right. And I'm not saying I'm an expert, but I go with my gut feeling. If I felt like there was somebody in my group that was one of these wolf preppers they're talking about, and what these wolf preppers are, it's a group of people supposedly. Okay, so this could be all something that's fabricated, blowing smoke up people's behinds. You don't know, but supposedly these are people that plan on attacking prepper groups and taking their stuff. They're not looking to prep themselves, so they're looking to get intel and all that type of stuff. So they'll come into a group supposedly, you know, like be a plant in the group. And here's the thing with something like that, you can fake things for only so long. And if I get a gut feeling about something, I just go, that something's not right here. Something don't wash. And I think that would be weeded out. When you have people that don't, that well, I like to call them the non-hackers. When you have people that are the non-hackers, they will weed themselves out. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. They will weed themselves out. It's just you know, that's just the way it goes. But add Tom Davis, Upstate Canine Committee has a great course of teaching your pup on an e-collar. Okay, why would I want that? Why would I want that? I don't need. And that's basically all. Realistically, Kilroy, and I'm just being 100% honest. All that is shock therapy. You're teaching that dog if that like they get that warning buzz that they better get back, and you train. That's how you train that dog. So, but that's but now I don't want to do that to her. I'm not looking to break my dog's spirit. She's a great dog, and does she occasionally take off? She does. Not gonna lie, I'd be lying if I said she didn't, because she has taken off. But for the most part, she stays fairly close. And she knows when she's being bad. So I just I don't know. I don't like that. It's just like the collars, guys. That when they have the prongs that go in, and if they're walking a dog and the dog doesn't do what it's told, and they yank that collar. Ed, what do you think about the news today about Russia and nukes in space could have EMPs? I saw that again. What you have to understand again with those type of things, there's a lot of information out there. Who knows how much of it's propaganda? Who knows how much of it's true? To be honest with you, you know. Yeah, JJ goes, that's cruelty. Yeah, I'm not looking to do that to my animals. I don't like those type of collars. I don't think that they are necessary. You know, if you have a good bond with your animal, for the most part, they're gonna stay close to you anyway. Yeah, they still make choke chains. That's what those are. Yep, Larry, exactly. The choke chains. That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing at all. I don't think. That's just my take. I got 25 acres out here, guys. All right, and I'm surrounded by woods beyond that. When she goes on one of her little adventures, she's never generally gone that long. And this is her territory. That's what you have to understand too. This is her territory. So she's testing those boundaries a lot of times of what her territory is. And do I like it when she runs off? No, of course not. I don't like it when she runs off. Your biggest worry is Hella being attacked by a bear. She doesn't need a shock collar. Exactly. Exactly. I don't think, yeah, I don't like that type of thing. And it's fine if somebody wants to have their animal and done that way, that is absolutely their choice. And I'm not telling you not to do it. For me, that's not a choice that I want to make. So, yeah, there are wireless fences best for the, yeah, exactly. Yep. You want to contain a dog in an area, the invisible fence, where basically if they go across that line, they're going to get a shock. And so they don't. That if you're looking to contain a dog in an area. Where I'm at, I let her run. You know, she's got an open area where she can go where she wants to go and all that type of stuff. But yeah, yeah, exactly. They, you know, I'm not, like I said, I'm not looking to break my dog. I like her spirit. I like her energy. So, so anyway, there's, yeah, like I said, so I wanted to talk about, we're going to discuss this. What do we got? 238 in the chat. We got 79 thumbs up already. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. And I thank you ahead of time. I really do appreciate it. It makes a huge, huge difference with the algorithms. So the more, you know, thumbs up or thumbs down. If you hate me, that's fantastic as well. And here's a weird part with that. I don't know if you, I mean, there used to be, you'd see all the thumbs down, right? You always used to see, you don't see them anymore. They're not going to show you guys. I'll see the thumbs down. I can see the thumbs down when I go to review videos, but other people don't see the thumbs down anymore. So it was like, what, people couldn't take it? I don't know. And you're going to have that group that consistently, no matter what video it is, they're going to give you a thumbs down. I had said to somebody one time, I said, I'm going to give you an example. There are people out there that, you know, for every channel that hate you so much that every single video you do, they're going to give you a thumbs down, right? I said, I could have breakfast, do a video, having coffee and having a conversation with Jesus Christ himself, and people would thumbs down the video. So it don't matter. I could care less if they thumbs it down. Don't make no difference to me. All YouTube sees it as is interaction. That's all they see it as. And they go, well, that's good. So, you know, but anyway, I do appreciate the thumbs up. Again, if you are not subscribed, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure, hey, your hair is so long, I see the shadow. Yeah, I know. If you look, you see it's dark. Actually, there's still a lot of black hair there, which is shocking to me. I got to shave my head. I'm going to do it after the live stream. I was looking before I jumped on. I'm like, I was lazy. I'll tell you, I was lazy today. I needed to catch up. That's what today was for me. Today was a catch up. I've been pushing pretty hard, and I got up this morning with delusions of grandeur, and I go, I'm going to accomplish this. I'm going to get this and this. I'm going to do that. And my body said, no, you're not. And I went, okay, body, I'm going to listen to you today. It happens. I definitely needed a day. So that's what I did today. But I definitely was catching up on some sleep, which, you know, I don't always, I sleep, but my sleep patterns are weird, if that makes any sense. So, but yeah, I just, it was one of those kind of days. No, the red buckets did not get filled today, Larry. I definitely, I had every intention of working on that today. And like I said, my body just said, no, thank you. When you were alive for every Super Bowl, you know that your body takes hits. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. So, all right, let's get into the topic about our do nothing government and the waste of time that they do. It is amazing to me. I swear to you, folks. If you just saw, the Senate just passed a bill that they now had to send to the House for approval, knowing full well that it's never going to pass in the House, right? So they did a standalone, I'm sorry, not standalone. They did where the border thing is not any part of the bill. They want to give like $60 billion to Ukraine. And this is what kills me about this too. They want to give 60,000 or 60 billion. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase. They want to give 60 billion to Ukraine. They want to give 14 billion to Israel, right? But then at the same time, they want to give 9.2 billion in humanitarian aid for Hamas. So my biggest thing with all of that was like, in the package ended up being like 95 billion or something like that. What about our people? What about Americans? What about Americans that are suffering and having problems? They need to be taken care of. That we don't need to be taking all this money and sending it to Ukraine. Again, not our problem. That is not our problem. So it is craziness. Yeah, didn't we already give Ukraine 130 billion, something like that, Larry? I'm not exactly sure what the number was, but it is astronomical the amount of money that we have already given and shipped over. We gave them money for them to run their government, to pay their teachers and their doctors. We gave them money to do that. Where's the money for ours? I just. But anyway, so the Senate passes this bill. They're sending it to the House, knowing full well that the House is not going to approve it. The other bill that already got shot down, right, that they said no to, had 20 billion for border security. And if you listen to the one side, which would be the Democrats, and well, we have this great bill, and it's the Republicans that are stopping it so that there's not going to be border security. So it's this whole big game that goes back and forth with these two parties, okay? And nothing ever gets accomplished. And that's it's a blame game, it's a pointing game. Oh, you're at fault, it's their fault. And so now, of course, the Democrats are trying to say, well, it's the Republicans' fault that we don't have this border security. Let's be honest, all right, for a moment, regardless of what your party that you believe in or that you're into. Let's Trump had policies in place like the stay in Mexico policy, right? I remember that. I hope you guys can. It's not that long ago, so we should be paying attention to those things. And while you're being processed, and finding out if they want to let you in or not, you had to stay in Mexico. The minute Biden got into office, one of through executive order, and I love that too. I love that term, executive order. So through executive order, which means he didn't have to have anybody's permission to do it, he went ahead and killed all that stuff, so that now all these millions and millions of people that have come across our southern border, they're here. So let's be honest. Whose fault is it that we have this crisis right now in America? Whose fault is it? The blame falls squarely on the shoulders of Joe Biden because of the policies that he put in place. Well, it's our fault. Yeah, I got what you're saying, Brad. And we have to pay for it. We pay for it, you know. And look at our political leaders versus Hungarian president who resigned for uh, pardoning a sex offender. Really, I had not seen that one. It's crazy. Well, here's another thing, and I don't know if there is actually people out there that are trying to get legislation passed so that I'm trying to remember what they call it. I'm trying to think. Some of you may know the term, and if you know the term, please put it in the chat for me because there's an actual term where these sickos, and they're sickos, that they're attracted to children, and they're trying to normalize that and make it legal for these sick SOBs to be able to have sex with children. Okay, now I'm sorry if I'm ever part of a society that said, well, they're pedophiles. Yeah, I know that, JJ, but there's a term that they use. There's a term that they use, not we call them pedophiles. Minor attracted persons. Yes, thank you, Dawn. Yes, yep. Minor attracted person. That's their way of going about it. Instead of calling them pedophiles, which is exactly what they are, uh, that's what they're calling themselves. And so there's this whole group of them, and they're trying to get things passed so that they can go ahead and do what they do. I'm telling you, folks, I to me, I got the cure. I have the cure for them. Very simple, guaranteed. They will never ever touch another child again if they get my cure. And it goes right here, right there in the back of the head. One time done, and they will never touch another child again. Period. And that's perfect. No castration needed, nothing like that whatsoever. Uh, you know, why is it? So here's a question. Okay, when you have these criminals in prisons, right? When you have these criminals in prisons, and these are some pretty hardened individuals, the bottom rung in prison are pedophiles. And what do they do in prison to pedophiles if they get the opportunity? They kill them. If they get that opportunity in prison, they kill them. All right. Why is it that there is more honor? And I want you to think about this. Why is it that there is more honor in that system with those type of people that will do the right thing to protect children, but we won't? What that you know what I'm saying? It's insanity out there now. It is insanity. So Klaus Schwab, in a speech, wishes to decriminalize that behavior with children. Right, and that's a sickness. That is a sickness. And again, I only know of one cure. There was a study done, and it said, and they're predators, is what they are too, because they prey on children. They said that those type of individuals will affect no less than 300 children in their lifetime. So by the time they get caught, that's the first time they got caught, realistically. Or if there's that revolving door because they are model prisoners in prison. You know why they're model prisoners in prison? Because there's no kids in prison and they want to get back out there where the kiddies are. So, they have to let certain individuals go because their time is up. They've done the max amount of time that they can do, and they're put back on the streets. That's wrong. That is wrong. So, but that's just my take on it. It's another thing that our society has gotten wrong. So, but unbelievable. At Washington State, kids have to know their sexual orientation by 10 here now. Seriously? That's ridiculous. At 10, they shouldn't. At 10 years old, they shouldn't know realistically anything about sex. So, sadly, about 20% of those accused are falsely accused. Now, don't get me wrong, that does happen as well. Absolutely, I agree with you. That does happen as well. I actually know a story of a young man that he was 18, his girlfriend was 16, and obviously they were screwing around. He went into the Navy, and he went down. He was down in Florida and met another girl, brought her back up here to New York. Well, up here, I was in New York at the time. Brought her back up to New York, and the girl was pissed, obviously, that her now ex-boyfriend was with somebody else, and and all that type of stuff. So the mother decides she's pressing charges against him for statutory rape, which is exactly what happened. He ended up going to prison. Now, I'm sorry, in a situation like that, there's something wrong there as well, because that should not be happening. That should not be happening. Okay, so there is those gray areas, if you will. But see, my thing is this: when you have somebody that is, well, let's say my age, right, and they're diddling a 5-year old, uh, that's a problem, and that needs to be addressed, and that needs to be taken care of exactly. You know, uh, so I mean, there's, and all of us have seen the girls out there. I'm probably everybody here watching has seen, different girls out there that at 14, 15, 16 didn't look 14, 15, 16. They look like full grown women. They put makeup on, they go out, and you wouldn't be able to tell that they weren't 21 or 22 years old. So there is you know there's those. But again, as adults, we need to look at that situation and go, yeah, they look good and they look fantastic, but they're underage, and we need to leave that alone. So age of consent has been lowered to 16 in Oklahoma. Okie Force just said. All right. Well, and I know it depends on. I think it's like 17 in New York, if I'm not mistaken. So, and who are buying those clothes? The parents. I don't always think that it's the parents that are doing it, Dawn. No. But again, it's just who knows. Who knows? But yeah, it's just it's a sad situation that and yes, some people are. There's a lot of times in a divorce situation where I'm going to tell you what divorce situations you will see the worst come out in people, especially if you're sharing children, because the one party or the other party is bitter and they want revenge, and so they will use that, accusing the father. Most times, it's accusing the father of sexually assaulting his own children, and that does happen, and I've seen that happen too. And then they got to go through the whole thing, and it's just so. Do some people become falsely accused? Absolutely. But my thing is this: if I will tell you right now, if I walked into a room and I saw a full-grown man sexually assaulting a child, uh, that would be the end of it. You know what I mean? That would be the end of it. Ed, rumor has it it's cheaper to keep her. Oh my God, that's too funny. That is too funny. But kids are always used as tools, and a lot of times with divorces as well, just to turn the one child, the parent against the other, or the children against the other parent. That happens a lot too. I mean, and that's a sad reality that happens by very bitter people. You know, it's unfortunate. At the end of the day, if you have children with somebody, you're always going to be the father, or you're always going to be the mother, and the other person is always going to be there as well. You should try to get along for the best part for your kid's sake. You don't have to like that other person that you used to be with. You don't have to, want to hug it out, if you will. But, why would you take it out on the children? Why would you try to alienate your children? So, my parents did that, Ed. I wouldn't comply, so I was put in foster care. Wow, that's tough too. That is tough too. So yeah, that's not good. But yeah, it's just like I said, you just never know with things. But anyway, I want to go back, and I do want to talk more about our wonderful government, our wonderful do nothing government. All they do again is they point fingers at each other. They're passing bills so they can say, "Hey, look what we did. We passed this bill," and it's those guys are at fault for not putting it through. But realistically, those other guys a lot of times are looking at the American people, and the American people are saying, "I don't want that. I don't want any more money going over, to Ukraine, me personally. So why should I continue to pay taxes so they can take my tax dollars and ship them over there, right? What and as far and listen, war situations, wars happen, things happen, but I don't think that we need to be stabilizing Gaza by giving them billions of dollars for humanitarian aid. And is it really going to go for humanitarian aid? I mean, realistically, so that's just um, remember, Ed. We just keep passing the debt down the road, and I get it, Brad. We could never pay it back now. Whatever, what, 34 trillion dollars. We couldn't pay that back now. So it's all being done in a way also to initiate a collapse, because at some point the collapse will come. That money's never going to be paid back ever. So that's the reality of that too. Yeah, just print more money, problem solved. Yeah, and that's the worst part because that devalues the dollar. It makes it worse. You look at inflation, right? Even though the economy is doing fantastic, if you listen to our government, I find that hard to believe. I find it very hard to believe. You know, I mean, I talked in an earlier video today. I talked about the gas prices, and the gas prices going up exponentially. I mean, they've jumped here big time. You know, last time I checked, the per dollar per hour for workers did not go up. So when you have to have gas to get to work and do the things that you want to do, just went up 40 cents in 4 days. We had to just jump up, um, 20 cents in one day. It jumped up another 20 cents after it was up like 20 cents before then. So That's why billions mysteriously disappear from the records. Exactly, JJ. Exactly. I will always go back to, look, you want to talk about it, we could talk about this, right? And it's coincidental how things come up and how things happen. Who remembers what was discussed the Friday before 9/11 happened? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that real quick. The Friday before 9/11 happened, what happened? Does anybody remember? I'm just going to go ahead and talk about it. So, for some of you that may not remember, they came on and they said there is a missing $1.2 trillion. We don't know where it is. So, we have it all at the Pentagon. We got it. We're going to go through this. And I think it was at 2.1 trillion. Maybe it was 2.1 trillion. Yeah, some of you guys, yeah, Rumsfeld, exactly, Dawn. Rumsfeld came on and said there's, I think it was 2.1 trillion, $2.1 trillion missing money. And so we have all these records. We're going to go through them. We're going to find out where this missing money is, right? This was on a Friday. On Monday, you have the attack of the Twin Towers. And mysteriously enough, the Pentagon was also attacked. If you remember, listen to the, go back and look. And the spot where the plane went into the Pentagon was exactly where, right? Exactly where all those records were kept. Oh, the records were also kept in Building 10 at the World Trade Center, right? Building 10. If you guys remember again, and I'm not going to say anything that ain't true, not saying anything that's not true, so they can't dock me for this. I'm not suggesting anything nefarious happened or there was any kind of plan with it or anything like that. Or Building 7, I'm sorry. Yes, Tony, my apologies. Yes, Building 7 was where a lot of these records were also kept. Okay. Building 7 was never hit, folks, but they pulled Building 7. They pulled Building 7, if you remember, right? And it was never talked about again. Never talked about again because now, oh, sorry, all these records that we had, all this information that we were going to go through has now all been destroyed. Oh, yeah, by the way, let's go off to war. Think about it. Think about it. And I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist. I'm not doing any of that. I'm not trying to do any of that. But how is it that the Pentagon got hit at the exact location where all of these records were? Why was Building 7 pulled where more of these records were? That's just a question. That's all I'm asking is a question. Asking a question. I'm not making a statement of fact of anything. I'm not insinuating anything. I'm just sharing information. And I found it to be very interesting that this is what happened. And again, they never talked about that again. It wasn't brought up again, folks. It wasn't brought up again. So, like a fart in the wind, $2.1 trillion gone, never to be seen again. Where to go? We'll never know. So, so the news announced that Building 7 1 minute earlier than when it came down. Yeah, there you go. And that was another, yes, that was another thing, Miss T. Yep. I want you to think about this, folks. You ever see a building demo done? Did you ever see how what's involved with demoing a building, where the guys have to go in and do all kinds of work ahead of time to prepare for that? It's entailed. It just doesn't happen where they go, okay, we're going to do this, and then that's going to be the end of it. And these buildings, when they bring those buildings down, they come down in their own footprint, straight down, a demolition, very well done demolition. They don't fall over, they come straight down. That takes time to prepare those buildings for that. So that's an interesting thing. Just again, just sharing information, not assuming anything, not speculating on anything. There's certain things that I can't speculate or assume in on here, on YouTube, because of course you will be called out for that. So you have to be very, very careful what you say. But like I can, what I am saying, what I did talk about right now, is all well documented and true, and you can look that up. Where did the Pentagon get hit? In that exact spot where those records were. You know, Building 7 was on fire, according allegedly, and so the decision was made. I don't know if that came. Did it come down? Did they say it came down on its own, or was it pulled? I don't remember. I honestly I don't remember that. But again, that was where a lot of those records were also. So it's coincidental, I'm sure. It was pulled on. Okay, that's what I thought. So again, that's not something that happens in the twinkling of an eye. It doesn't just happen magically. That's something that has to be planned out and done and all that type of thing. So that's just, and of course, I'm sure the guy that owned the twin buildings or twin tower buildings that took out that tremendously large insurance policy on the twin towers not that long before they were attacked and came down. I'm sure that had nothing to do with anything either. That just happened to be a coincidence. So interesting. Over here in the BBC broadcast, Building 7 fell and it was in the background standing. Ah, okay. Yeah, yeah. So interesting, though. It is very interesting. But like I said again, that's a video. I will have to make that video and put it up on Rumble and just out of curiosity, see how that does over there. But we can talk about more things over there on that channel. And I have not done anything, honestly, over there. I'll be honest. I just haven't. I got a lot of other things happening, and I just don't have the time. A lot of times I find it hard to keep up on YouTube, to be honest with you, to make exclusive content for over there on Rumble. But anyway, so interesting stuff, folks. But again, our government continues, these politicians, they make me sick. They really make me sick because they do nothing but play games. They don't take care of the things they need to take care of. There's nothing but finger pointing, and it's both sides. Okay, it is both sides that do it. They blame the other side, But this crisis that we have now, and isn't it interesting? Again, there's no coincidences in my opinion. Okay, but isn't it interesting now that we are in an election year? And now all of a sudden, now it's an issue. Now something has to be done. Something needs to be addressed. What about the last 3 years before this year? What about those when we just had this, extreme flow of people? And I think it's funny when you have these sanctuary cities like Chicago and New York City, that, we're a sanctuary city. And so, the Governor Abbott in Texas started shipping them up there. You're a sanctuary city, here you go. And now all of a sudden for them it's a problem. They have an issue. They can't keep sending us more people. Well, they keep coming. They're not stopping. They're not stopping from coming. So just it's a game. And we're the suckers because we keep paying the taxes. We're the ones they're playing. And it drives me crazy. It really, truly does. I mean, it just. What about us? What about Americans? And I'm not saying. See, this is my thing, folks. This is the way I look at it. Where's the training programs for our people? How about sending these kids and showing the kids, listen, college is a joke. You go to college, you come out of college $150,000 in debt with a degree that you can't do anything with. And what are you going to do now? Right? Because now you have all these student loans that you got to pay off you know, and do all that and then try to get a job. And you can't get it. It's tough to get that job in gender studies, right? It's tough to get that job with your art degree, you know, where are you getting a job doing that? What are they going to, you're not getting a job doing that. So there's what is the other one? Liberal arts. That's another great one. Well, I have a degree in liberal arts. Well, good for you. What's that doing for you? You know, let's make it okay. Let's make it good for our kids to go to trade school, to become plumbers and welders and carpenters and electricians, and they can make stupid money doing that. Okay, and they can write their own ticket. You know why? Because people aren't out there doing it because it is beneath them. It's beneath them. They can't possibly do that, right? But those guys and ladies that are out there doing that, they are making bank because they have the skills and they know what to do and they know how to do it. There are many people in stores here that don't speak English. When you talk to them, a Walmart employee I asked questions couldn't answer back. Wow, where was this at? The Country Humans Network. Where was this at? I paid off my college debt, and yet all these little kids want their debt erased. And I did the same thing, Don. I had, when I went to nursing school, I had, in Minnesota. Okay, thank you. Um, I had a 10-year loan. It was a 10-year loan. And I will tell you right now, I happily paid that 10-year loan every month. When I got my statement, I paid that payment because it gave me the opportunity, that funding that they gave, so that I, like, when I went back to school, to me it was well worth it. I was obviously going into a career that I was going to utilize that degree, and so I had no problem paying back my student loans. But I'll tell you a story about that. So here I am in nursing school, and it was a year. They jammed a year and a half program into a year, and so we started school, and we had a decent sized class. It was we ended up graduating. Was 60 women and 6 men that graduated from the nursing program when I went to it. So, and just because you graduate the program doesn't mean automatically you are a nurse. You have to take your state boards after that to get your certification, and so that's what most of us did and passed that. But I can remember, and this is a true story, folks. I was so freaking mad because it was a tough year, and we were at least in nursing school you could make decent money. Oh, absolutely, yeah. When you once you get your nursing degree, you can make very nice money. So it wasn't like a job that you weren't going to go to work and not do well. But what had happened? We're in nursing school, and I overheard a conversation, and it really made me mad. I mean, it really made me so mad. So we had an eclectic mix of people in the class, and this was a conversation between two of the black students. And one says to the other one, "Man, you need to get down to XYZ office in the city of Rochester. They're going to give you an extra $2,000 cash just because you're black." That's it. That was the only criteria that was there for that. They were going to get an extra 2 grand in cash because they were black, and they were going to the nursing school program. And I remember thinking, man, that sucks, because it's like, how is that fair, right? Everybody's in there busting their butts the same exact way, trying to further their education, trying to get that nursing degree. And just because you're a certain color, you get this bonus that I can't get because I'm a white man, you know? And it was like, that's unfair. That's not right. But that's what happens. That's how the system is so set up right now against white folks. It really truly is. Did you see in California some lady wants $50 an hour for minimum wage? I did not see that, Larry. I did not see that. Yeah, that's called discrimination. No kidding, Misty. You think? You think? Legal discrimination, Robert says, and that's exactly what it is. And I honestly believe, and this is strictly my opinion, and I've talked about this before, and it's been a while, and I'll say it again. We're going to do egg count in just a minute. I'm going to make this point first, and then we'll do the egg count after that. Education should be free. All right, education should be free, and what should happen is after you get your degree in X, Y, and Z, that a percentage of your paycheck the rest of your life should go into a pool that pays for the college professors and all that type of stuff, or the trade schools and all that type of stuff. A percentage of money should go into that. But the education for these kids absolutely should be free, because that way, if you're a smart kid and you got the brains and you could be a doctor, you don't have to like jump through hoops and get all kinds of crap. But a percentage of your, and think about this, who wouldn't say, yeah, okay, I'll do that? Let's call it 2%. 2% for the rest of your life. If you got to go to school, become a doctor for free, went to school to become a lawyer and became a lawyer for free, and the rest of your life, 2% of your pay goes into the pool to pay for that institutions to be able to do that. Why wouldn't you? You get your education, you can do what that's the way I looked at it. So um, you know that's the reality, but they will never do that because they make so much money off of students. They make so much money off these students with the student loans and stuff like that. It's insanity. All right, so anyway, again, real quick, we got 265 in the chat. We got 161 with a thumbs up. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. I do appreciate that. Also, it really does make a huge difference with the algorithms as well. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. Okay. Egg count today in West Virginia. How many eggs did I get today? And yes or no for the white hen. So I'll give you guys a moment to get your guesses in, and we will go from there. So I will give you a nugget of information. Yesterday, I had one egg yesterday. One. I was like, what? I thought that was crazy. I could not believe that it was that little bit yesterday. I was like, and I actually called them lazy. I said, you girls are lazy. All right, folks. Oh, what happened? There we go. Sorry about that. I hit the wrong thing and the screen went away. Um, if you had the same exact guess as Ranger192 with 5 eggs today, and yes, the white hen did lay today, then you are 100% correct. So congratulations to Ranger. And it was weird because, okay, so 5 eggs today, right? 1 egg yesterday, and 5 the day before that. Absolutely crazy. So congratulations to Ranger192. You've won absolutely nothing, and you are happy about it. So there we are. Too funny. But yeah, I was happy. I was like, went out this morning when I let him out this morning at what I let him out 8:30, I think, this morning. And there was already 2 eggs then, and then went out later and checked again, and there was 3 more. So I was like, there we go. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. They're good hens. I like that. They're kids. You know what I mean? They're like another part of the family. And I will tell you today, um, I did take a good walk today, so I definitely I got my exercise in that way. But I just trying to do anything physically today, I was like, not going to happen. A part of the freeloading family at times. Well, it happens, Don. Some days are better than others. So some days are better than others with the hens. Oh my goodness, I am in shock. I'm also old to heart attack on the way, but will die happy with nothing. There you go, Ranger. Yeah, is that your first win too? I think, isn't it? First time you got the win. So, yeah, we got some people on here have won multiple times. So it's that's pretty funny. But anyway, let's go back a little bit more. Let's talk about our wonderful do nothing government that does nothing, that points fingers and accomplishes absolutely nothing. Again, why is there not a standalone bill? Standalone bill, border security. If it's such an issue as the American people say, that is the issue, that is the problem, and they are putting that blame squarely on the shoulders of Joe Biden because he is the one that has caused the situation that we are in now. I mean, let's be honest. It's his policies. It's him stopping the policies that our former President Trump had put in place to stop that. And again, at the end of the day, let's remember, let's not forget, folks, let's not forget, this is an important part of it. Who benefits from these people being here, right? These illegals all across the country. Who is the one that benefits? Now, oh, and we're also talking what Biden just came out with. He wants to fast track citizenship for dreamers, right? I don't know if you guys saw that. Again, they're still illegal. They're still illegal aliens. Yeah, maybe they were all kids when they came here, but that's not our problem. It's not our problem. Thank you. Dale has the correct answer. Big business is going to benefit because cheap labor. These people will do the jobs that Americans won't do. They won't do it. These people will come over here. They will pick the fruit. They'll pick the produce. They will, you know, do the lawn maintenance. They'll, clean the toilets that Americans won't do. They won't do it. They're it's beneath them to do that. They won't. Oh, I wouldn't do that, right? These people will, and they're happy to do it because again, what they do 9 times, and I shouldn't say 9 times out of 10, but in a lot of cases, their families are all down in South America, right? When you're talking that whole illegal immigration thing coming up here. So their families are back in South America. So what they do, these gentlemen come here and they work their butts off and they get paid and they send a majority of that money back to whatever country that they came from because they could live, they come here and work a couple of years, a few years, 2, 3, 4 years, right? Work their butts off, work all the time, get a big house with a bunch of other illegal immigrants, and they all live together. Ship all that money back down there, and then all of a sudden, they go back and they live like kings down there. Why wouldn't you do it, right? Why wouldn't you do it? So I mean, it's all part of the game. So if big business couldn't use these people, they would not be here. They would not be here. You go look in your meat packing factories. Go look in your places where they're making your potato chips and your canned vegetables and all those type of stuff. See who the majority of people in there working are. And there's no listen. There's no judgment on my part. I respect anybody that will work for a living. Okay, I absolutely do. But again, you have to look at the big picture. All right, these people aren't just coming here and and granted they're giving them all kinds of handouts and all kinds of stuff as well, which again is wrong. All right, especially when you have Americans suffer. Yes, in the UK, a man works 11 months, lives with 10 others in a tip, then builds a beautiful home back in Romania. There you go, full of hope. Same thing, same situation. And that's what they do. And they go back there and they live like kings. So, at a long time ago, we had empires run by emperors, then we had kingdoms run by kings, now we have countries. Exactly. Exactly. Good point, JJ. Very good point. It's craziness, folks. It's absolute craziness. 25 people in one toilet. Yeah, well, that would definitely, if you got to go, you better get it done quick, apparently, right? So, uh my friend used shock for their deaf poodles as voice was pretty useless. Dog became extremely afraid of anything that buzzed, and groomers are refusing to provide care. Had to get the vet to knock them out. Yeah, see, and again, yeah, you're not teaching that animal that. Thank you for sharing that. Life is messy. I don't, like I said, that's not what I want to do with my animals. Um, I like in New York, we had the animals, they had their area that they were in. Down here, I have enough acreage down here where I have been able to let Hella run free. And, if the cost of that for me is that once in a while she'll take off, I don't like it when she takes off, and I try to get her back as soon as I can. And she knows she's naughty when she does it. She's willful, though. So, I mean, she's a very strong-minded animal. But I love her to death, and that's just it's a choice that I've made with her. And when people say, "Oh, well, your dog doesn't listen," that dog listens very well. And I will tell you what, somebody came down here with bad intentions, that dog would give her life for me, and I know that as well. So yeah, I just you know yeah, Dawn just said she would protect you with her life. Yes, she would. Yes, she would. And I honestly, I'll be honest with you, I would protect her with mine too. Um, we just had a member of the group just lost an animal. He had a dog. His dog was 15 years old, and his dog just passed away. And I I can't even imagine what that has to be like when you have an animal for that long. I've had cats, folks. I've had cats 15 years, and then they died. And it's devastating because they're part of your family. That's part of your family, and so that's hard. And it's not an easy thing, but that's the what when you get animals, you realize that commitment to that animal generally is going to be 12 to 15 years if you're lucky. If you're lucky, if something happens sooner, that happens as well. So, but you know, I feel very fortunate, and to be honest with you, to be her owner. I feel blessed to be her owner because she's an absolutely awesome dog, and she's 3 years old already. And if something happens to her, I will tell you, uh, I, I'm going to be crushed. I will be crushed because that's my baby. It's me and her. She's with me every single day. So you're probably like, well, where is she? She's in there laying down right now because she got out, and and that's the other thing too, you know, um, getting that animal the exercise that they need. So when we went out for our walk today, and we walked around quite a bit today, to be honest with you, she's by my side. She's with me, and and that's a good thing. That's good for her. It gets her out, and she can run and do what she needs to do. And so, but anyway, I just that came to me, and I felt really bad for Mark. He lost one of his dogs, and this, like I said, it's not fun. But that's the sacrifice that we make as humans when we actually give a crap. Yeah, it was Mark. Um, and you make that commitment to that animal. My mom had a dog for 18 years when My mom passed away. We had to put her little dog to sleep. She basically was depressed. I get it. No, I get it. And they become attached to you. I mean, I don't know if you've seen these guys. You've probably seen videos where they're taking the person's dying or whatever the case may be, and it could be a horse. I mean, I know that there was one instance where it was a horse. They imprint on you as much as you imprint on them. So it's tough. But and they suffer too if you die. That animal will suffer because you're their whole world. So, but anyway, we'll leave that at that. Just it is what it is, right? What do we got? 230 in the chat. We're at 180 thumbs up. Let's see if we can hit 200 today. I guess we didn't have a big crowd today. It happens. Didn't care about the topic. They don't, see, that's it. And there's another great example, right? The topic was talking about our government and talking about the corruption of our government and the do nothingness of our government. But nobody wants to watch that. They don't want to hear about that because they don't care. They don't care. So they just keep letting our government do what they're going to do. um, you know. And we did stay on topic quite a bit. Yeah. Oh, it's Valentine's Day. They're all busy. Yeah, that could be too. That could be as well. Yeah, that's a good point. But you know, it is what it is, folks. But again, if it doesn't affect people directly in a lot of cases, they do not care. That's what you got to remember as well. Yes, I wasn't even thinking about that. And again, even though I wished everybody a happy Valentine's Day in the beginning, just to me, it's just another day. You know, there she is. There's the princess. Oh, big yawn. Were you sleeping? Huh? So, anyway, we're going to do some shout outs here. You're a good baby. Yes, you are. All right. We're going to start out with Heavenly Hills Homestead. Ryan growing giant vegetables. Very interesting to watch. Okay, you got to go down for right now. You got to go down. Oh. So definitely check him out. We have Icky Can up in Canada doing his thing. There is Angry Prepper, that is Jason down in New York City. There is Alaska Prepper, that is Rudy. Rudy's a good guy as well. Definitely worth a listen to. There's Alaska Granny. You have Sean James with the Sean James channel and My Self Reliance, two different channels, same guy, up in Canada doing his thing, living off grid, and he's a master builder. Very interesting to watch him do what he does up there. There is Demcad. Demcad's another guy, walks the walk and talks the talk. So I got a lot of respect for him as well. You have Corporal's Corner. There's Bjorn Hansen. We have 80K Man up in the Adirondacks. There is Bizariza Jizza, who does the Carrington Chronicles, a very interesting story. A lot of good information with that. There is also Marfugal News, Adam and Dax, out on the west coast of Seattle, doing their thing out there. Definitely worth a listen to. Magic Prepper in North Dakota. You have Wranglestar doing his thing, that is Cody. A lot of good information on his channel as well. There is Red Poppy Ranch. You have Survival Lily coming at us out of Europe to let us know all the latest information of what's happening there. There's Kyle's Cabin. Kyle and Sierra up in Minnesota, living off grid. Nice young couple up there showing us what they're doing up there. There is Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods, husband wife team. Nice couple. Split their time between Michigan and Alaska. Very interesting to watch what they do. There is Green Greg's. We have Southern Prepper 1 with his Boots on the Ground series. A really interesting series. Definitely worth checking that out as well. There is Doug and Stacy. They've been around for a long time. A lot of good information there. There's Gray Man Prepping. You have the Nomadic Movement down in Panama. Nice couple down there, living off grid, showing you their journey. There is the Green Dream Project out in Arizona in the desert. Again, nice couple out there doing their thing out there. Definitely worth to listen to. Camping with Steve Wallace, doing stealth camping. A lot of fun to watch him. Good tips you can pick up there. Bush Doctor Survival. There's Monkey Works. You have the Needy Homesteader. Again, somebody who's been around a long time. A lot of good info there. There is Boss of the Swamp. Again, another master builder. Very interesting to watch him do his thing. So definitely check him out as well. We have Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Diamond's been around a long time. Good guy. Definitely check him out as well. There is Patera with the Appalachian Homestead. Straight shooter. She says it like it is. I respect that. There is City Prepper. You have Lumina Acres. There is Suspicious Observer, uh, giving you all the information of what's going on with the sun flares and everything like that. Really, really cool. There is Bear Independent. You have the Uneducated Economist. There is Bushcraft Bear in the Canary Islands of La Palma. You have Mary Greeley News. She gives you all the latest of what's going on with Yellowstone and everything like that as well. Very interesting there. There is Adapt 2030. You have Malachi's Corner. Truth Be Told with Tara. You have Ryan Hall, y'all. Ryan Hall's a great guy, very passionate about the weather, and he gives back to the community in a huge way. So if you're going to get your weather, that is the guy you should be getting your weather from. There is Russell Brand. Russell Brand is another. I like Russell Brand. He gives you the info and lets you decide what you want to do with it. He doesn't tell you how to think or how you should do things. You have Deep South Homestead, another very family friendly oriented channel, so definitely worth a listen to. You have The Outsider up in Maine. There's Betting on Alaska. He is the son of Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods, starting his journey up in Alaska, living off grid. Uh, Hit some bumps in the road this year, and a lot of people hammered on him because of it. But he's 18 years old, so you live and you learn. But I think he's going to do very well moving forward, and definitely worth watching. You have the Fit Farmer. There is Prep Rebel. You have Simple Life Reclaimed. There is also Townsend's. Townsend's showing you what it's like to live in the 1800s, and really good information there. You have the Prepared Mind. There's Pinball Preparedness down in Tennessee. You have East Tennessee Preparedness. There is the Economic Ninja. Last but not least, Little House Off Gritty, also down in Tennessee. There's a lot of good channels out there. I know you guys put other channels in the chat, which is good as well. We should be supporting each other. We're a small niche community, the prepping community. We are growing, I think, and I think more people are waking up to the fact that they need to be prepared, which you should be anyway, uh, and not just for the end of the world type of stuff. We need to be prepared for whatever may happen. I think that's the biggest thing that people lose sight of when it comes to prepping. They don't look at the big picture and say, well, this could happen or that could happen. They don't think about that. They only think when people say they're preppers, oh, you're waiting for the end of the world to happen. No, you know, um, a lot of SHTF events can happen. Again, loss of job, sickness, death in the family. You know, if the breadwinner in a family dies, that is an SHTF situation for that family, and people need to be thinking about that. So it's just one of those things, and but planning ahead, it makes all the difference. And then if we end up having a true SHTF event, then you're in a better shape for it. You're not going to be a victim, and that's, I think, probably the biggest thing for me that I want for you guys is I don't want you to be victims. I want you to be proactive. I want you to take care of your business and do that. And I think you're going to be just fine in the long run if you do that. So what we're all looking for, folks, honestly, is an edge. Looking for an edge. So if we take care of what we can take care of when the time comes, it's not going to be that big of a deal. It really won't be. So anyway, I hope anybody that was out there celebrating Valentine's Day, I hope you guys had a good time. I hope you got to spend it with somebody that you loved and that you cared about, and you spent all that money into the economy. I'll tell you what, I when I was with my ex-wife, I used to always tell her, I said, I'm not buying you flowers on Valentine's Day because they've jacked the prices up like crazy. I'm not doing a box of candy and all that type of stuff because the news media says this is the day you have to do this. I never did that. Um, what I always used to do is I would bring her flowers when she wasn't expecting flowers. I'll tell you funny, you'll get a kick out of this one. Heather was little. I mean, she was maybe 4 or 5 years old, and so I would bring home a dozen roses for my wife, for no reason other than I wanted to surprise her. But what I got to do is I got to make two women in the house happy because I would come home and I would say, Heather, and she would come running up, yes, Daddy. I go, look what I got for you. And then I would get that look from Amy. And Amy was happy to have the flowers too, but Heather always thought that the flowers were for her, and it made them both happy, and that was fun. I think back on things like that and think of the positive and the happy things, like that, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun, but I think that there's more meaning in getting somebody something when they don't expect it than doing it because they say this is the day. And think I want you to think about this. So if you're dating a young lady and you're in the beginning of dating this young lady, okay, right now, and Valentine's Day's here. So now you got to go out, you got to get the candy, you got to get the flowers, you probably got to take them out to dinner. And it's so commercialized and they jack the prices up so much for this event, that it is, the Lamb's Light said that's enough to make me cry, Ed Sweet. Well, I just loved my family. That's what I wanted. So, and like I said, my children to me they're my whole world. They always have been. They always will be. And but anyway, it's the commercialization of it now. It's terrible. You know, Ed, just because surprise flowers are the best kind, I tell my husband, no Valentine flowers too expensive. Exactly. They double the price of them. It's absolutely ridiculous. Nothing says love like a new bulletproof vest. Oh my God, that's hilarious. That is hilarious. It's just the holidays now are so commercialized. It's terrible, to be honest with you. It's absolutely terrible. So, but to me, it's like I'm going to spend that money when I want to. I'd rather do it when she doesn't expect it, just to show that I care. I think that's more important. So, anyway, um, let's do this. We are legion because we are many. We are all over the country. We're all over the world. Where is everybody from tonight? Let's do that. We got the UP of Michigan with Don. We got Utah in the house with Stevo. Palatica, Idaho with Janita. We got North Carolina with Sam. Central Kentucky with Noodlehead. Black Mountain, North Carolina with Lamb's Light. New Jersey with Anthony. East Central Illinois with Ranger. Central Valley, California with Shelley. BC, Canada with Emil. We have Napa. We got Norway was in the house. Very nice. Missouri and the Ozarks with Delbert. Hillsboro, Oregon with Chewy. Leesburg, Florida with Joan. Birdsboro, Pennsylvania with Melissa. Ontario, Canada with Dave. Franklin County, Ohio with we got Southwest Ohio with Barbara. Inverness, Florida with Clyde in the house. We got Codster coming at us from Greenlee County, Arizona. North Central Iowa with Ace. New Mexico with the Country Humans Network. Kathy in East Palestine, Ohio. We have Southwest Missouri with Kelly. New Hampshire with Brenda's in the house. The High Desert of up in Nevada with Blueberry. We got Masses in the house with Papa Two Bears. West Central Ohio with Dale. Trenton, Gainesville, Florida. Very nice. So again, guys, we are truly all over the country. We're all over the world. We're a huge, huge network of people. We're the ones that truly can make a difference now, and we can make an even bigger difference after an event. We got Kit coming at us from West Central Florida, Robert in Northern Virginia, West Coast of Florida. I'm sorry, Kit. We got Central Iowa with Robert. So again, helping people, trying to wake people up now is a good thing. After an event, we will be educating people on how to help them survive. And I think that's more important, honestly. And people are going to need help because they're going to be clueless. People don't have this. When you had the Great Depression back in the 30s, people were prepared. They had gardens. They took care of their own stuff. They did a lot of canning and stuff like that. It doesn't happen like that anymore. We got Claude from Chicago, Illinois. So again, that just wanted to put that out there. Yeah, people are clueless now. You got that right. Dawn says I can all year long. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with that. We got Village Homestead coming from Central New York. Very nice. Port Hope, Ontario, Canada with Jane. So, like I said, again, guys, we're all over the place. There's a lot of people out there that are awake, and I would obviously encourage you to continue to be ready when the time comes. Do what you have to do. We all have to make personal choices at that point in time. We got Larry coming at us from Omaha, Nebraska. So, anyway, folks, I want to thank my moderators who do an absolutely fantastic job keeping the chat clean. They're absolutely awesome and they're very much appreciated. Again, I want to thank all you guys for being here as well. I appreciate you taking this time out on Valentine's Day to hang out. And I was like, all of a sudden, it wasn't clicking of why is there such a small crowd? And that's probably the answer right there. People are feeling obligated. And there's another thing, obligations. Let's talk about obligations, right? You have to do this and you have to do that. Why? Because society says so. That's why. So craziness, craziness. But anyway, be safe, everybody. Keep prepping. Take care of your business. Um, and that's the important thing. Remember, folks, we truly are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. As soon as we ever figure that one out, we're going to be in much, much better shape. We have to stop letting them divide us. They use race, they like to use religion, they like to use political affiliation. These are all tools used to keep you under control, and it's nonsense, and it doesn't mean anything. So, if you take care of your families, take care of the people that you love, that's the important thing. And also remember to hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important to tell the people that we care about every single day how we feel. Last but not least, STD. Step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you from achieving your goals is you. That's it, nobody else. If you set realistic goals and then set about to making them happen, nobody can stop you. And you make that goal happen, and you make a new goal. That's how it should be, and that's important. And I want people to remember that. It's just stay away from negative people that tell you what you can't do and what you can't accomplish. The best way to handle those people, and like I said, my biggest thing I love to say when people tell me what I can't do, I go, watch me. Because if I have set my mind to something, it is going to happen. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So, anyway, guys, be safe, keep prepping, take care of your business, and you're going to be just fine. I will see you all later. Have a great night. Prepper Nurse One out for now.